There's something about Cologne, a certain raw, unpolished beauty that makes this city stand out amongst its German counterparts. It's a place where history looms large, where the past is never far from the present, and where every corner tells a story. But it's not just about the grand cathedrals or the widening river. It's the people, the food, the energy of the street that gives Cologne its soul. So let's dive into this city together, starting at the beating heart. The Cologne Cathedral is impossible to miss. It dominates the skyline, its twin spires rising high above the city like dark Gothic sentinels. This is the largest Gothic church in Northern Europe, and it's been standing here for over 700 years. You don't just see the cathedral, you feel it. The air around it seems charged with centuries of history, of stories whispered through the ages. Walking up to it, you're struck by the sheer scale of the place, the intricate details of the facade, the countless statues and carvings that adorn every surface, tell tales of faith, of power, and of perseverance. Step inside and you're immediately enveloped by the cool, hushed atmosphere. The soaring ceilings, the stained glass that throws coloured light across the stone floors. It's all designed to make you feel small, insignificant in the face of something much greater. But the cathedral is more than just a monument to religion. It's a symbol of the city's resilience. Cologne has been bombed, burned and rebuilt, but the cathedral has always stood firm. It's a survivor, much like the people of this city. And there's a certain comfort in knowing that everything in this place endures. Leaving the cathedral behind, we head towards the Rhine. The river has been the lifeblood of Cologne for centuries. The Rhine isn't just a body of water, it's a living, breathing part of the city. It's been the backdrop to Cologne's history, a constant presence as the city has grown and evolved. On weekends, the riverside comes alive with markets. Stalls line the riverbanks, offering everything from fresh produce to handmade crafts. The smell of bratwursts sizzling on the grills mingles with the sweet scent of freshly baked pastries. There's an energy here, a vibrancy that is contagious. You can lose yourself in these markets, wandering from stall to stall, sampling the local delicacies, chatting with the vendors who are more than happy to share their stories. This is where you see the real Cologne, where locals and tourists alike come to soak in the atmosphere, to enjoy the simple pleasures of good food, good company, and a spectacular view of the Rhine. The river, with its slow, steady flow, seems to reflect the pace of life here, unhurried, deliberate, yet full of life. Take a moment to sit by the water's edge, perhaps with a beer in hand. Cologne's signature beer is light, crisp and refreshing, perfect for sipping as you watch the boats drift by, the sunlight dancing on the waves. There's a certain contentment in this, a feeling that life doesn't need to be rushed. In Cologne, you learn to appreciate the small moments, the pauses between the hustle and the bustle. From the river, we move towards one of Cologne's more laid-back areas, the café district, near the classic Hotel Harmony. This is where you come to slow down, to take a break from the city's more intense sights and sounds. It's a place that feels like a local street, a hidden gem where the pace of life seems to slow to a comfortable, leisurely rhythm. The streets here are lined with cafes, each with its own personality. Some are sleek and modern, with minimalist decor and baristas who take their coffee very seriously. Others are more traditional, with wooden interiors and a menu of hearty German fare. But what they all have in common is that they're all inviting, welcoming places where you can sit for hours watching the world go by. This is the perfect spot to enjoy a slice of cake, perhaps a rich, dense piece of Black Forest gâteau, or a strong aromatic coffee. There's something about the cafe culture here that feels timeless, a reminder that sometimes the best way to experience a city is to simply sit and let it come to you. The people who frequent these cafes are a mix of locals and travellers, students and professionals, all drawn to the relaxed vibe of this part of the town. It's a place where conversations flow as freely as the coffee, where you can spend an afternoon lost in thought or deep in discussion. And as the sun sets and the lights of the city start to twinkle, there's a sense of contentment that settles over the area, a feeling that, at this moment, there's nowhere else you need to be. As we wind our way back towards the cathedral, the streets of Cologne reveal themselves in all their eclectic glory. Here, ancient Roman ruins sit side by side with post-war architecture, and modern art installations pop up where you least expect them. It's a city that refuses to be pigeonholed, that defies easy categorisation. Cologne is a place where history and modern coexist, where tradition is respected but never allowed to stifle creativity. It's a city that has been shaped by its past, but is not defined by it. And as you walk these streets, you start to get a sense for what makes Cologne so special. It's a city that's lived through a lot, but it hasn't lost its sense of humour, its zest for life. Whether you're a first-time visitor or someone who's been here a dozen times, Cologne always offers something new. It's a city that's constantly evolving, yet it remains true to itself, a place where old and new, the sacred and the profane, come together in a way that is uniquely and unmistakably Cologne. In the end, Cologne is a city of contrasts, a place where towering cathedrals stand next to vibrant street markets, where ancient history blends seamlessly with modern life. It's a city that is unafraid to show its scars, but it's also a place that knows how to celebrate life, to embrace the present while honouring the past. So whether you're here to admire the architecture, to enjoy a beer by the river, or simply to soak in the atmosphere of a city that is as resilient as it is beautiful, Cologne has something for everyone. It's a city that invites you to explore, to discover, and to fall in love with its many charms. Because in Cologne, as in life, it's the journey that matters, the moments, the memories, and the stories you collect along the way.